Welcome to Q&A, Social Security Disability Today. This program is brought to you by the Reeves Law Firm, representing you and your Social Security and disability needs. If you have a problem or questions regarding Social Security and disability, call attorney Anthony Reeves. Here's your host, attorney Anthony Reeves.
All right, now I want people. Now you're gonna probably look at me like I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but bear with me. I'm gonna be looking up and down when I'm doing this next question. So please bear with me because I want to make sure I have my responses laid out, particularly for this one. Why does Social Security send me the same forms to complete? There's a reason why these forms are provided to you, and I call them my 3 C's: consistency, continuity, and conflict. Let's talk about each one. First, consistency. Are you consistent in what you say? Remember, when you're applying, depending on the area that you're in, it's very possible that you could be, from the time you apply to the time you have to even go before a judge, a year and a half to even almost 2 years. So you may get the same sets of documents over and over again. So you want to be mindful that you're saying the same things over and over, that you're saying the same things over and over again. They're looking for consistency. Okay? Continuity. Does it flow with your medical records and other persons, and does it show the presence of other things that need to be developed? Let's take each one at a time. Does it flow with your medical records and other persons? When you fill out these forms, I know you're in a lot of pain, you got a headache, you're having issues with different things. It is so easy to want to gloss over things. But take your time and answer the questions asked and be detailed. Don't sugarcoat it. Because what they're going to do is they're going to look at what you're saying, and they're going to see if what you're saying jives in line with what you've been telling your doc, and jives in line with what the people who are around you are saying, what they observe as relates to you. So guess what? If they ask you, do you need help going to places? And you say yes. Do you need help going to places like the grocery store? You say yes. Explain. Don't just say, I need help going to the grocery store. Well, that doesn't tell anybody anything. Say, I can't go to, for instance, if you have mental health issues, I don't like being around large groups of people. I get really nervous when I'm around people. So when I go to the grocery store, I take somebody with me. We go late at night. And if I start getting nervous, I give them the list and they'll finish up and meet me outside. Guess what? If you said the same thing to your doctor and the same thing that your friends who go with you to the grocery store have observed, what is that? Continuity. Also, let's say that you've never complained about mental health issues, but you keep repeatedly making references to the fact that you have a hard time going out and about. Well, if there's nothing in your medical records that demonstrates the existence of a mental health impairment, Social Security might send you for an evaluation just to make sure they cover that, because you've consistently and continuously brought that information to their attention. Then finally, conflict. Okay. I always tell people when you're filling out this form may come back to bite you in the ass later. And you will say, well, what do you mean by that? Because what ends up happening a lot of times is that when people go before judges, it is human nature to want to make yourself seem worse than what you really are. So you got to be mindful that what you're putting in the paper today may be brought to your attention a year and a half from now. So if you sit here and say, now don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Don't sit here going, oh my God, I can't remember what happened 2 years ago. If things have gotten worse since then you articulate that. But let's say that in January of 2013, when you applied, you indicated that you could never go to the grocery store. Then all of a sudden, in July 2014, you go to a hearing and you tell the court, yeah, I go to the grocery store probably once a month. Well, the judge is going to say, well, in your application, you indicated you could never go. Why? What's the problem now? Just say, well, when I go now, I go at night when it's late and when there's nobody there. And the medications tend to keep me stabilized long enough so I can run in there and do what I need to do. But most cases, I do not go. See, it's just that easy. But you want to make sure that when you put stuff in your forms, that this way it doesn't come back to bite you later. And a lot of times people ask me, how do I avoid this biting me later? By being honest, detailed, and consistent. Don't try to play a game. A lot of times people would think Social Security is trying to game them. So when they see forms, they're trying to read into what they think the form means. They're trying to add their own 2 cents. And I'm like, you're adding more issues to your situation. Do not do that. Just answer the questions that's being asked, and then trust that similar questions will be asked of you again in the future. As long as you are consistent in your responses, you shouldn't have any issue. Just be consistent, be continuous, and more importantly, be prepared to discuss any conflicts if something has changed from the time you previously filled out the form to the time somebody gets a chance to ask you about it.